Hi, I'm Andrei Frunze, your host today for the project-based learning in chemistry. And we're gonna talk about popcorn. Exactly. Why does popcorn pop? Popcorn, also known as popping corn, is a type of corn that expands from the kernel and puffs up when much heat is applied through a microwave cooking device or heating object. When heated, pressure builds up within the kernel and a small explosion occurs. Each kernel of popcorn contains a certain amount of moisture and oil. Unlike most other grains, the outer hull of the popcorn kernel is both strong and impervious to moisture, and the starch inside consists almost entirely of a hard type. As the oil and the water around the kernel are heated, they turn the moisture in the kernel into pressurized steam. Under these conditions, the starch inside the kernel softens and becomes pliable, which causes the explosion. The pressure continues to increase until the breaking point of the hull is reached, which is a pressure of about 135 psi and a temperature of 180 degrees Celsius. The hull ruptures rapidly, causing a sudden drop in pressure inside the kernel and the corresponding rapid expansion of the steam, which expands the starch and proteins of the endosperm into airy form, like this. As the foam rapidly cools, the starch and protein polymers set into the familiar crispy puff. If heated too quickly, the steam in the other layers of the kernel can highly reach pressures and rupture the hull before the starch in the center of the kernel can fully gelatinize, leading to partially popped kernels with hard centers. We don't want to eat that. Heating too slowly leads to entirely unpopped kernels. The tip of the kernel, where it's attached to the cob, is not entirely moisturized proof, and when heated slowly, the steam can leak out of the tip fast enough to keep the pressure from rising sufficiently to break the hull and cause the pop. When popcorn has finished popping, sometimes unpopped kernels remain, known in the popcorn industry as old mates. The kernels don't pop because they do not have enough moisture to create enough steam for an explosion. Rehydrating prior to popping usually results in eliminating the unpopped kernels. And this is how popcorn pops.